Welcome back everyone, thank you so much for clicking the video, and this time we have a Pekka deck, and it is a really cool one. It is really a one that you can actually take it down to go at least near Electro value. If you can actually see, I dropped down some trophies. I was up at those legendary arena, not the legendary, the legendary arena, but then I actually had to drop down because they were all level 11 players and they are really hard. And you definitely will be facing some real hard opponents, so definitely had to switch down to come over to Electro Valley. But then this one would help you to reach there. So I just tried this deck out over there. It did seem to work over there sometimes, but then when you actually are facing those level 11 players, they're kind of more maxed out than what you actually have in them. So definitely you will be having the downside over there. But apart from that, it's a really cool deck. It has some really cool offense as well as defense. So we have the Horde Rider, big win condition if at least get at least 2 shots from that, and we also have the Pekka, another big win condition. If you just leave it, he'll just slam those 2 shots on that tower and it should be pretty much game over there. We also have the Valkyrie, a great defender. She has a lot of hit points that you actually have to go through, and then we have the guards in the minion horde to take down any of those troops which maybe like a giant skeleton, distract him, kind of get him towards the side and not attack the tower. The guard again doing the same purpose. The zap and the fireball are to destroy the tower, and in some cases do some damage to troops or restart the charge of any troops. So it's a really cool deck. Let's get right into the video, but before that, make sure to leave a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel of Clash of Clans or Clash Royale content every single day. Make sure you click on the bell notification icon so that you don't miss any of my Clash of Clans or Clash Royale content as soon as I upload them. Okay, so here is the first replay, and we have the Horde Rider over here, so definitely we'll be taking that into account. Putting in the Horde Rider, getting ready with the zap to zap out any of those troops if he actually does have. So if he had the skeleton army with him, then I actually would have actually dropped in the zap, but then I'm gonna get ready with the Horde Rider just like that. And make sure you're having a decent level Horde Rider over here, and this one is a Brit spam, which is really cool because it actually does a lot of damage, and I'm gonna distract them by calling them towards the side. You also gotta make sure that we're actually dropping in any of these troops, like maybe the guards or maybe the skeleton, not the skeleton, the gang over there, the goblin gang, towards the side. Make sure you're not dropping it right in front of the path, just as you can see here, just where the minion horde are. You just don't want to put them there. You want to put them either towards the extreme left, maybe towards the middle. That'll be a pretty good option, but then never actually put it right in front of the tower. In that case, they'll actually log it down and it should probably be a waste over there, so definitely don't do that. Again, putting in the Horde Riders to do more damage over there. This guy definitely has a double prince deck, which seems to work now, but then the what is that, the nerf on the what is that, the Dark Prince definitely does not do a lot of this thing. So we're gonna put in the Goblin Gang again. If the opponent had a log, you would actually put it on towards the side, but then the Prince is actually logged on, and I definitely love him because the amount of damage he actually did, you see, drop it all the way down from maybe 2,700 or something to 1,485. So definitely I just love the Prince over there. He's definitely one card you can actually trust on. But then this guy, right before I actually take him down, they actually right before we actually could kill him, they got, what is that, the Battle Ram Barbarians didn't actually do any damage at all, so that is really cool. Again, the Bandit again is a big threat. If you just leave it, she'll be again doing some dash damage. This is used again, but then as soon as I drop the Horde Rider on this side, the opponent actually does drop it on this side, so definitely not a lot of troops to actually defend on the Horde Rider. So the tower will be down. The opponent does drop in the Prince on the same side as well, so definitely will be taking in a lot of damage towards the Prince. That is really nice. So the Valkyrie again is doing some area splash and definitely dealt with all of those guys over there. So again, the Battle Ram here is going to go down. The Valkyrie is going to do some area splash, which is pretty nice. I'm going to drop in the Pekka and then put in the minion horde. The opponent is forcing towards the left, which is quite okay, but then we're actually going to drop in the goblin gang over here to defend against it, but then I don't think it's actually required. So I'm going to drop in the fireball, dealing both damage to the skeletons as well as the witch, which is pretty nice and good. Pretty much value for the money you're actually spending over there. But then the Valkyrie and the Horde Rider again do a really great combo. We can actually get that around. This should be pretty good to go. So again, we can actually defend it. Just see the amount of minions we have over here. It's easy peasy for us. The minions are easily going to defend over there. It's not going to be any problems at all, but then we actually did get the victory. Pretty simple for us, pretty hard for the opponent over there. So let's get right into the other replay. Okay, here is the second replay, and I think, as far as I'm concerned, level 9 guys, the one level kind of lower to what your level is, are kind of tougher than what you actually get at par. So if you're actually fighting against a level 10 guy, then even you are a level 10 guy, then you probably will be finding a decent opponent. But when it comes to finding a really tough opponent, that would be with the case of maybe a level 9 or something. Maybe one level lower is what I was concerned to be more stronger. That is my experience as far as I'm concerned. See, this guy definitely did put in some pressure. We definitely dealt over there. So again, the minion horde are gonna help a lot, but then the opponent does drop in the giant skeleton. A lot of damage dealt by the giant skeleton. Not a lot of troops I have in my hand, so dropping in the hog rider to bring the giant skeleton back. I'm gonna make him roam around the city to make sure that he's not doing damage to the tower over there. I'm gonna put in the guards, but then the giant skeleton is down for sure. I'm gonna put in the guards over here because he has the fire spirit, which actually will be doing air splash. I definitely need to drop in the goblin gang, or the lumberjack will do a lot of damage. He at least would have got another shot, another 200 more, so it brought it down to 1622. I don't definitely need that, so I'm gonna let him do just 182 more to deal with. So we're again going to go through the same strategy. You can actually put in the Pekka and make sure that you're actually taking down that tower. It should be pretty awesome. That is only the case when the opponent is overcommitted towards the other side. So if the opponent drops in a huge tank, in this case the opponent drops in the giant skeleton and then maybe he has a witch, and if he drops them both, then that definitely gives you a sign that you actually have to go for that push. So I'm gonna drop in the Pekka because that's the only card I actually have here that's gonna work against this big army over here, and he does survive. You see, he has a lot of hit points, and that is something you want to take into account. He is really cool all by himself. He can take down most of his enemies. Keep that in mind, is really valuable. So I'm gonna drop in the hog rider over here to do more damage, and the opponent does drop in the skeleton army, but then I was not interested in putting it. By the time the fireball had actually reached it, I wouldn't have actually made it. So definitely not a good option to drop in the what is that, the fireball over there. Again, dragging down the giant skeleton towards the side. I definitely don't want it to do damage to that tower. One single bomb blast from him, it would cost a lot to me. So I'm dropping in the goblin gang over here, but then they're actually going to do some damage. But then before the bandit actually hits the tower, I mean dashes the tower, we're actually doing some zapping as well as the goblin gang's fun stuff over there. They're definitely dealing with it. So goblin gang again, really good against any troop that actually does charge, like the prince, like maybe a giant skeleton, a Pekka, all these troops which need distraction, which take down just one unit at a time. The best card would be like these, the guards, the other stuff which actually do a lot of damage. So before we actually did think about it, over time we get the victory by just zapping it down. So there's a second replay. Well, the second one was definitely a quick finish. I didn't notice that I actually did zap it, although it's just having around 30 to 40 hit points. It's definitely worth actually dropping in the zap rather than wasting time and defending yourself. It would have been the other way around. So it's an easy deck, you guys. Make sure you're using the hog rider the most. The hog rider will be the one which actually will be at least getting a few shots on that tower, unless the opponent has a defensive building. Although he has a defensive building, make sure you're taking that down first with maybe a walkery, or maybe putting in something, maybe the fireball. That should be a pretty good option. Deal with that and then put in the hog rider. Should be pretty good to go. So thank you so much for watching till the very end. This is how the deck actually works, and I'm Ayrus, and I'll be seeing you next time. Until then, goodbye.